Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch something called Revenge of the Dead, also known as ZEDER. Let's check it out.
Time, Gabriella. Come on, sweetheart.
No!
It's all up to us now.
No! I don't want to!
It's under here, isn't it?
So this girl is taken to a basement and she finds something in the dirt.
We found him! Down here under the... We found him! She's better now. The hospital says she'll pull through.
Appears to be a wallet they found. Found like a corpse buried underneath there.
Issued to Paulo ZEDER. We found Paulo ZEDER.
Fast forward to a woman who's giving a typewriter to her husband as a gift.
Put her right in need, right?
It's fantastic. I ever tell you you're beautiful?
That's
You
Stefano
want to see
and
what we
Alessandra.
Where?
And he finds stuff written on the ribbon. Of course, it's in Italian. I can't read it.
Barriers of death shall at last be destroyed.
Something about K-zones and this ZEDER character.
What does hire for?
He takes it to an expert.
A master of mystery. Now you have to tell me exactly where you found it, because there's something else here that only a scholar, an expert in religious history, can explain. That's why I have to know precisely from whom you got it. Properties which he called alchemical, but which we today would define as chemical, or better still, geological similarities. Now these sites, which he called K-zones, were supposed to be different. That is, they defied all natural laws and existed in a state of suspension, in a non-time, a non-season, a non-growth, and a non-death.
Costa hasn't been part of Holy Mother Church for over 10 years.
He's going to meet somebody that he met earlier. They say he's never been here.
A bald man who said he was Don Luigi Costa.
Excuse me, but that's just not possible. Besides Don Emilio, I'm the only one around, and seeing the devotion of our parishioners.
He met somebody
I
there.
don't know who you met today, but it certainly wasn't Don Luigi Costa. Now, I don't want to know anything about the contents of those letters.
As admitted, a demise isn't a treatable malady, it's a pure end, an absolute state reached by a total event which is final and for good.
Paulo ZEDER offered his life for the sake of his research, having himself secretly buried in that ground, under that house, to demonstrate that his theories were well-founded.
Of course, he's apparently getting too close to secrets and things that people shouldn't know about. Apparently in these K-zones you can bring people back to life.
Rented to me, to my family, more readily than to others.
My brother's not here. He's not with us anymore.
When did it happen?
A month ago. But he was in and out of that hospital almost a year. Stroheim.
He then spots the guy that he spotted earlier, who was pretending to be that guy.
It's him. He was the one who said he was the priest. I'm sure it's him.
Gotta follow him. He ends up in the crypt of Luigi Costa. He finds out that it's empty,
Alessandra.
and then he gets locked in.
Alessandra.
Except me.
He decides he's staying for a while.
Take the car.
You're a nut. A crazy, selfish nut. I gotta help.
No.
Now, I believe this is someone coming back to life who was in a K-zone grave.
special kind of typewriter. Fairly rare. And here, what do we find a few yards from the holiday camp? A cord. Don't tell me it's a coincidence. Luigi.
He does some more poking around and finds like a studio, camera equipment, monitors, monitor of a corpse.
His face. Yeah, it's on the screen. It was white. Cadaverous. He's dead to me.
Anyway, he gives his wife the videotape and she's got to take it to somebody.
Promise.
So she hitches that guy with the big fella on the moped. He's looking through a little telescope later and he spots that man who was the corpse.
We gotta try and dig up that ex-priest quick. Get him out of the way from that ground. Oh, for God's sake.
But it's not going to work out too well for him. Watch the walls. In fact, it appears he's been beheaded. Back to those monitors later. Clearly, that person's awake and alive now. He goes back to get Alessandra.
Alessandra?
And apparently she's no longer with us.
Hey, wake up.
So he immediately takes her to one of the K-zones and buries her with the hopes that she will be reanimated. Shortly thereafter, she indeed comes back. But is she normal? Now, we don't see exactly what she does, but apparently the answer is a resounding no. Okay, from the Euroshock collection, this is ZEDER. So, I almost didn't want to re-review this movie. I watched this on my previous channel and I hadn't seen it since. That was 2012, 9 years ago now. And I remember seeing this years and years ago as well. I had it on a beta tape. I rented it and copied it. It was under the title Revenge of the Dead, which looked like some sort of zombie type movie. And I rented it from a place called Denny's Video in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, probably back in 1986 or 87 or so. So anyway, I don't understand this movie. I don't get it. I am not impressed by this movie. I find it boring and it lost me. I have no idea what the hell was going on in this movie. I don't know. There are some people who love this movie, and there's a lot of people who hate this movie because they just don't get it either. Maybe I'm just not highbrow enough to understand this. I don't know. There's something going on here, but I can't figure out what the hell it is. We have a guy who gets a typewriter for a gift from his, I guess it's his wife, his significant other, and he sees this ribbon on there, and he looks at it closely, and he sees there's some words written on there, and it's talking about something called K-zones. And I guess this belonged to this guy named Paulo ZEDER, and he was some sort of researcher who was trying to find K-zones, which were some sort of, that's the thing, they don't really describe what the hell a K-zone is. It was some sort of thing between life and death, some sort of area, like a place you could hang out, I don't know. But you could also bring people back from the dead, I guess. I don't know. Again, I can't understand what the hell's going on in this movie. It's just too complicated. You know, I'm a simple guy. This is too much for me. I don't get it. I'd rather watch some mindless zombie movie than this. I don't understand what's happening. But anyway, he does his own research, and there's these scientists who are also finding this, and they want to eliminate him. And then ultimately, his wife is killed. I don't even know how she died, but he just came home. She was dead. And then he took her out to the ground where one of these K zones is, kind of like Pet Cemetery. In fact, there's a lot of people who say Pet Cemetery ripped this off, although I would be willing to bet Stephen King had no knowledge of ZEDER's existence, but whatever. Takes her body, buries her, and then the last scene in the movie, she's alive. She comes back, she smiles at him, they embrace, and then he screams. We don't even see what happened to him. Did she knife him in the back or something? Or what? I don't know. They don't show what happened, and there was no movement to indicate she was stabbing him or hurting him in any way. So I don't know what happened, but I'm guessing it was bad, whatever it was. So again, kind of like the soiled ground. I don't know. Here's what it says on the back here. Stefano, a budding novelist, receives the innocent gift of a used typewriter from his wife on their wedding anniversary. While changing the ribbon, he discovers the typed imprint of writing left by the previous owner. Fascinated by the startling essay, Stefano uncovers the experiments of scientist Paulo ZEDER, whose claims of places where death ceases to exist intrigue the young writer. Obsessed with finding the truth about ZEDER's theories, Stefano is led on a terrifying journey where he is confronted with an occult conspiracy to reanimate the dead. Okay, I guess that's ZEDER, Revenge of the Dead. I don't know. I don't understand this movie. I'm sure there are some people who do, and if you understand this movie, by all means, tell me how wrong I am and leave some comments and tell me I'm a piece of shit because I don't understand and I'm not sophisticated enough to understand ZEDER. But I'm not. I was bored by it. I don't get it. I'd rather watch garbage movies like Criminally Insane than watch this again. That's ZEDER, Revenge of the Dead. Let me know what you think about it. I do know this has been released on Blu-ray, so it's probably a nice cleaned up picture on that one. I do not have an interest in upgrading it. I am more than satisfied with this DVD, which I've had in my collection for a very, very long time. Check it out. Leave some comments. ZEDER, Revenge of the Dead. Watch it. Bye. Or don't watch it.